Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm sure many of you all know who Jared Dines is. But for the ones who don't, who just come to my channel for politics, I'm going to educate you on some metal. And then we're going to talk about a song that's not metal at all, or a band that is not metal at all. But Jared Dines here is very metal. And as you can see, he does a Trapt deep dive video. Yes, we're talking about Trapt. Oh, right, you don't know who Trapt is. Who does, really? Okay, y'all know that song Headstrong? Jared does a really, really good cover of it here. Check it out.
Oh, I'll take you on. Headstrong, I'll take on anyone.
Yeah, you know, that song. Sounds just like it, pretty much. No, I'll admit the song was decent when it came out. Wasn't a big fan of it. But it came out, and it was around that edgy time where, like, Linkin Park was a thing, really, and all that stuff. But the thing about it is for the longest time, I thought that song was the same band that did, okay, I can't remember the song name. I remember the band name, though. But you know what song I'm talking about when I say Evanescence. Except Evanescence, I wasn't super into, to be honest. I liked that one song. Came out when I was like a little kid, pretty much. And it was cool. Came out, opened up right before Daredevil. Yeah, it was pretty neat. But as for Trapt itself, right? They've been under fire for a lot of things. First of all, they stole a video from Rob Scallon. Do you all know who Rob Scallon is? If you don't, crazy, because he is one of the best guitarists on YouTube. He's insane. He's really, really good. As is Jared Dines. Unbelievably talented guitarist, vocalist, and drummer. Holy crap, the dude can drum. He can really drum. But Jared Dines here goes into a deep dive video as to who Trapt is, why they are, what they are, all that good stuff. And he does a very fair assessment over them. But Trapt has a very, very poor PR stunt thing that they kind of do, where they just insult people on Twitter. They go on like a drunken rage, and they boast about their numbers, and they put other bands down. Like, I think it was Metallica. I think it was Metallica that they were boasting about doing better than on Pandora for, I think it was Headstrong. I mean, obviously, Metallica has double the followers on Pandora and on Spotify over Trapt. They do a lot better than Trapt in general, and yet, for some reason, they had to put them down and say, oh, we're doing better than them. The only thing people know Trapt for is Headstrong. Unless you're Justin Bonnets. Then you know more Trapt songs than you should. No, I'm just kidding, man. You can like whoever you want to like. Okay? I'm not saying Trapt is a bad band. I'm not saying they sound bad. But what I will say is that their music is generic. Their music isn't anything special at all. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's the reason why they can't get another hit on the radio. It's the reason why they can't get a hit in general. You know? But for some reason, they have the audacity to boast. If they did not have their lucky break, if they did not have Headstrong, they would be a nothing band and nobody would ever hear of them and they would not be famous. That is an absolute fact. And if they want to sit there and say that otherwise, then why can't your music do well? Okay? That's the funny thing about it. They boast so much about their numbers, but they can't even get on their own YouTube channel. 3.5 thousand views? I have plenty of videos that get above that, and I only have 3,000 subscribers. So, I have a video right now that has 108,000 views. I'm not going to rub that in anyone's face. Except for Trapt's, because they do it to other people. Why can't you get above that constantly? Only 100,000 subscribers. For a band that has over 250 million plays. Oh, not over 250 million. It's like 230-something million plays on Spotify of just Headstrong alone. But let's talk about their awesome new album, too. They have one song on their top 10 list that has 276,000 listens. That's it. 218, okay, not 238, 218 million listens on Headstrong. 218. 276,000. Now, Jared Dines goes into it. And he's like, this guy boasts about his numbers, boasts and boasts and boasts. And then Chris Taylor Brown, I believe his name is, probably hits women just as hard as Chris Brown, which isn't very hard. Okay, I'm not going to insinuate that he hits women, but it is funny. maybe he's just the drunken ranty version of the other Chris Brown. The other Chris Brown, actually, the main Chris Brown that everyone knows and loves for beating women, actually just hits women. So maybe he's a lot less harmless, a lot more harmless. But more harmless? Is that? I don't know. You can't give me crap because of your comments, and I'll get into that here soon. His comments that have terrible, terrible grammar. So anyway, that's his number one song on the album. That's it. That means every single song on this album has less plays. This song right here has less plays. Or, I mean, not this song. This album has less plays than this one song. And why does that song have so many views? Well, I get the feeling because it is the first artist pick song that they put right there. When people come here to listen to Headstrong, they're like, yeah, do they have any more like this? And people fish around, which is why you see 13 million views, 15 million, and then everything else is below that. Nothing comes close to Headstrong. They can't get anything to come close to Headstrong. And the only reason why they get these views on any of their other songs is because of Headstrong. And if they think otherwise, which they do think otherwise, and I'll get into that, they do think otherwise. They do believe, well, all our other music does, has a combined amount of 400,000 clicks daily. Or not daily, it's monthly. They get 400,000 monthly, I think. 400,000 monthly without it being Headstrong. Yeah, that's because people go from Headstrong and try to find another song that's similar, that sounds just as good. And then you notice that the clicks don't keep coming. They go to the next song, and then maybe a couple others. And they're like, oh. Gone. That's why you don't retain people. You don't get a bunch of new followers. I wonder what your monthly followers, how much they go up, if they're stagnant or not. And I bet they are stagnant. I bet people find Headstrong, they're like, yeah, and that's it. And we can see that in the numbers. We can absolutely see that in numbers. 218 million playthroughs. And you can't get anywhere near to it. You can't even get 50 million. You can't even get 20 million on your next biggest song. You can't even get 10% of the people who listen to Headstrong. You can't get 10% of them to listen to any of your other music. The reason why I'm being harsh is because, well, let's get into their comments. So they commented on Jared Dines' video, which, believe me, their Twitter is horrendous. Now, don't get me wrong. It's cool he's a Trump supporter, but he makes Trump people look stupid. I hate that. That sucks. That really sucks. But, of course, there are going to be idiots that follow Trump. There have to be. It's like there are plenty of idiots who follow Biden and everyone else. I mean, it's just a fact. Anyway, this guy comments, who are these 2 million people? I have never heard an actual human in my entire life be like, yo, play that new Trapt. I've heard Justin say something kind of like that. I'm not that new Trapt, but, I like Trapt. So there's one person. There's at least one person. Like I said, if you like Trapt, I'm not dissing you. You can like their music all you want. The people are separate from, the artist is separate from the music. You know what I mean? So I'm not digging in on their music very hard because there's not really much to complain about other than I just think it's super generic and it's been done. They're not groundbreaking. Anyway, but you definitely heard someone else say that exact same thing, you total sheep follower. Okay. So he follows sheep. Could have just stopped with sheep, right? Anyway, Trapt, are you in a drunken rage right now? And he responds back, are you a sheep follower? Do you do anything on your own? Does everyone else have to be doing it too? Just curious. What? That doesn't even make sense. I do everything on my own. I live on my own, take care of my kids on my own. I don't drink on my own. But I don't drink on my own. Well, I guess you don't do everything on your own, right? How dare you have friends that drink with you and not by yourself like a drunk? Anyway, Blind ends up saying, LMFAO using sheep as an adjective followed by the word follower is redundant, just like you. And that's a good comeback. Legitimately a good comeback, It is redundant. And he goes, as a sighted person, you barely exist, man. The internet is the only place for you or a place you can feel like you exist. Wow. Bringing down that fame onto him. I'm famous, you're not. I'm freaking famous, dude. Oh my god. I'm famous and you're not, therefore I'm better. Yeah, man, for what a record company helped you do. Anyway, he says, dude, you're so vanilla. You're doing the same things you were doing in 2002. Cookie cutter music, cookie cutter audience. I don't want to hear anything about being a sheep follower for simply stating my real life experiences. Generic music, generic vibe, generic two first names, and generic terms for people you disagree with. Generic two first names, Chris Taylor. That's really funny. Wait, is it Chris Taylor? Corey? Wait. Crap. Not Taylor. Brown. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care about his name. It is generic. Your opinion of anything is as nice, important as your online existence to the world. More of that fame crush. I'm so important in the world. Man, seriously, what have you done for the world other than give people Headstrong? And that's it. Which I guarantee you didn't change anything ever. You know? Seriously, it's silly. Brendan Peterson, I could totally do without morons making videos about me. Man, why are you hating Jared Dines so much? Why does this video offend you? All he did was point out that you go on crazy rants, and that's it. And that the fact that you stole a video and pocketed the money for it. And then apparently, he goes on here, which is crazy. Dude from Trapt is telling people in the comments on my new video that I'm just mad because he turned down an interview with me. I don't interview people, and I sure as hell would never reach out to you to interview you, Chris. LMAO. Now, this may be out of context, because Jared might have reached out to interview him during the Rob Scallon thing. But, as for this video, no, Jared never reached out for him. This may be communication breakdown here. But then again, I don't know, because for some reason, this moron never backs his crap. At Jared Dines, you wanted to interview me after the whole Rob Scallon thing was going down. A video I took down after 8 hours. It was up way longer than 8 hours. Are you insane? 8 hours? Dude, there were videos coming out daily from Glenn Fricker, from Rob Scallon, from Jared Dines, from Ryan Bruce. There was a lot of videos that came out over the course of, I don't know, a week? Telling you to take it down. Lots of comments on your page telling you to take it down. And Rob fought you tooth and nail to get his own video taken off of your site where you were pocketing all the monetization. And then he says, I also offered to pay him for any damages. No, you didn't. You made a statement very clearly saying we gave him a lot of publicity. He should thank us for it. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You never offered to pay him for damages, and if you did, you need to prove it. You morons leave that out. Why? Because there's no evidence of it. If there is evidence of it, I'll apologize and say, yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to even lie about that. I would absolutely apologize for it if you could provide proof. That's just ridiculous to me that you would ever lie about this, knowing that there's no evidence to back this because people saw it. A lot of people saw it. Who are you going to lie about? I saw it. I was here whenever all this drama was going down. I wasn't making YouTube videos, but I was following Jared Dines and Rob Scallon and Spectre Sound Studios, Glenn Fricker. And he goes, why are you a liar, Jared? He never lied. He never lied about any of it. Lying is the definition of intentionally misleading somebody. Now, if he did reach out for you to interview you during the Rob Scallon thing, he's not lying. You're just talking past each other. He's saying he never reached out to interview you at all for this video. That's what he's saying. Now, if Jared Dines comes out and says, no, I didn't even ask you for an interview at that time either, then I'm going to believe Jared just on his word because you have nothing to corroborate that. Corroborate your claim that he reached out to you. Prove he did. Okay? Anyway, so he says, this guy here, I only follow sheep to assist them over fences. What's your story? And he added Jared Dines to pin the comment in the thread. He's like, P-hand shit you. I'm the only one in a band who also uses his brain, apparently. Way to just insult all your bandmates, I guess. Way too many of you all emotion. Okay, you mean emotional. And into making sure you adhere to social rules to fit in and be accepted. What social rules? The social rules of don't post people's videos and steal their money. The social rules of stop being an asshole to people just because you don't like them. I mean, come on. If somebody says your music sucks, it's an opinion, man. People say my videos suck, and I say okay. Legit. The only time I argue with people is whenever they say, your video never mentioned anything that it said, that the title said. And I go, yes, and I timestamp it for them. And they're like, I shouldn't have to listen that far into the video. And I'm like, well, then you're just a lazy idiot. That's about as far as it goes. But if somebody says my video sucks, I say okay. Can't change their mind on it. They didn't like my video. I don't care. They don't have to like it. Well, it's just, and he goes on and on and on and on, arguing with probably a ton of teenagers. What a bold, strong man. Anyway, you go down, you get Headstrong, and then you get Echo. Which of course you can see the major gap in views. Then you get a bunch of people talking about Trapt and Jared Dines. Then you get wait, no you don't. Album review. Whew, 175,000 views on the album review. More views than he got on his album. I guarantee it. That's really funny. Then you get into some Trapt music. No, I guess you don't really. You get into some. Man, there's more videos talking about Trapt than there is Trapt songs on the front page. Yikes. You might want to focus on your music and your skills before talking so much crap on so many other bands and so many talented people. Jared Dines, I guarantee you, is stomping you in numbers right now. I would bet. You have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. How many subscribers does Jared Dines have? 2.85 million. That's more listeners than you get. Jared Dines is a bedroom musician YouTuber, and he's doing way better than you on views and music. Keep that in mind before being so jealous and so upset about it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.